Imagine a man so feared that his name echoed like a nightmare in the darkest nights of the desert. He is Saint Moses the Ethiopian, born in the Kingdom of Aksum, in the region we now know as Ethiopia, also known as the Strong and the Thief. He was a relentless criminal in the 4th century, a bandit leader and a killer who spread terror wherever he went. Fleeing from slavery in Egypt for theft and suspicion of murder, his hands were stained with the blood of countless victims. He did not know repentance. His life was marked by brutality and violence, and the world saw him as a monster. But what if I told you that this man, this monster, became a saint? Yes, you heard that right. From thief and murderer to saint. How is this possible? What would make someone with so much evil in their past turn the key to their own soul and seek redemption in a world where revenge was the only law they knew? Get ready to dive into the story of Saint Moses the Ethiopian. This man, whose name was associated with terror, fled from his past to find peace where it was least expected, and became one of the most remarkable saints in Christian history. But to understand how he got here, we need to take a step back. Let's see who Moses was before any change took place. The year was 350 AD. The Roman Empire was in transition. Christianity was becoming the official religion, but North Africa was still living under the weight of invasions and disputes between tribes, with vast areas out of control. It was in this scene of chaos and survival that Moses the Ethiopian was born, in the Kingdom of Aksum, modern-day Ethiopia, a kingdom amidst a turbulent world. From a young age, Moses was forged in violence and the fight for survival. Life for Moses was not a gift. Sold into slavery at a young age by his own parents due to the growing oppression of the Hebrews in Egypt, he quickly learned that his life had no value to his masters. Humiliated and punished, he was expelled from slavery for theft and suspicion of murder. He refused to live under oppression and decided to take his destiny into his own hands. Now free and wandering the desert, Moses formed a gang of 35 bandits and became a feared leader of raiders. He not only survived, but thrived on his power and violence. There was a dark story circulating about him. One day, Moses tried to kill a shepherd and stole his sheep without any remorse. Each act of violence fed the beast within him, making him more relentless and more feared. He was not just any criminal. He became the monster of the roads. But this was only the beginning of a journey that even to him seemed endless. What happens when a man, who was forged by pain and violence, finds a world without rules? He becomes terror itself. After killing his master and fleeing into the desert, Moses realized that now power was in his hands. He took whatever he wanted without fear of retaliation. He became the leader of bandits, forming an army of thieves, and the desert, once a place of escape, became his kingdom. He was now a feared man, an unrelenting leader. But Moses didn't steal just to survive. He stole because he enjoyed the power. Each raid, each life destroyed, fed his ego, his thirst for control. He had become the monster of the roads. However, the Roman Empire, tired of his atrocities, was keeping an eye on him. He knew his freedom in the desert had an expiration date. And the big question was, when would the empire finally catch up to him? Moses was lost. Escaping Roman pursuit, he found himself cornered, without food, without allies, and with death on his heels. And then, as if fate were guiding him, Moses found something unexpected, a Christian monastery. There, amidst the silence and peace, he found a compassion he had never imagined. He, who had always survived through fear, was now seen not as a criminal, but as someone lost. It was the first time anyone had looked at him with eyes of grace, without judgment. This encounter was the turning point. Something inside Moses began to change. What if my life could be different? He thought. What if, instead of killing, I could serve? But the path to change is never easy. He didn't know it, but the real struggle was about to begin. Because transformation is not something that happens only in the spirit. It's a constant battle against who we once were. In the eyes of everyone, Moses was now a monk, a man of God, but inside him the ghosts of the past still haunted him. Violence was ingrained in his veins, like an unstoppable force, a current trying to drag him back. It was then that Saint Macarius, one of the wisest monks, made a prophecy. One of the monks would be martyred. This was a foretelling of Moses's final trial. The monks, with patience and wisdom, helped him understand that true strength was not in destroying others, but in controlling himself. They taught him that peace is not a given state, but something that must be earned every day. But it wasn't easy. Each day in the monastery was an internal battle. Moses, the man of blood, now had to destroy the anger and fear that still resided in his heart. Over time, the flame of anger was gently replaced by the flame of humility. He even faced former members of his gang, showing his transformation. But his journey wouldn't end there. He was ordained a priest, but the ghosts of his past wouldn't let his life be at peace so easily. The true test of his transformation was yet to come. Moses' past, filled with violence and war, came back to haunt him in a brutal way. A group of bandits, those same ones he once commanded, was marching toward the monastery. The tension in the monastery was palpable. The monks' reactions varied. Some wanted to fight, others wanted to flee. But Moses, the man who once destroyed with fury, did not pick up a single weapon. He did not lift a finger to defend himself. With an uncommon serenity, he said, "Whoever lives by the sword dies by the sword. Do not repay evil with evil, for the Lord will take care of us." He stood there, waiting for the inevitable, trusting in divine providence. The bandits arrived, destroying everything. When the massacre began, Moses died, but he died as a man who did not allow himself to be consumed by evil. He, who was once the executioner, now chose to be the martyr. Today, the story of Saint Moses inspires those who believe that no one is beyond redemption. His transformation from criminal to saint is not only a lesson in faith, but in inner strength. He is the patron saint of penitence, of those who believe that there is always a chance to change. He is a revered figure in the Eastern Orthodox Church and is remembered for his remarkable transformation. His feast is celebrated on August 28th, reminding us that no matter how dark the path, the light of change is within everyone's reach. His body is buried at the monastery of the Virgin Mary of El Baramus in the Coptic Orthodox Church in Egypt, serving as a symbol of his journey of transformation. And now, after everything you've seen, I ask you, did you know the story of Saint Moses the Black? And what other story of overcoming would you like to see here on the channel? Leave your comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more exciting stories like this. See you on the next journey. Bye.